Hello, hello. I'm here to talk to you about the viewing of video games and how it has evolved throughout the years and what the future for it will look like. There are several areas that people have been watching video games in. Some of the big ones are YouTube, with people who do Let's Plays or just play games and post their videos on it, and people will view it. There's in-game spectating clients, such as in Dota 2, League of Legends, or StarCraft 2, where people can spectate other people playing the game in their own game. And then there's external broadcasting sites like Twitch TV, where people stream themselves through their computers playing a game, and people can tune into this specific channel and watch them play that game. There's many more possibilities that people can watch games, but these are the topics that I'm going to talk to you about today. The first topic I want to talk about is YouTube and people who post their videos on YouTube, either of them playing games or of game-related content. These YouTube videos can get millions of views and the channels can just grow to enormous popularity, and all because of the reason that people want to watch other people play video games. The top channel on YouTube is PewDiePie, and his content is 100% dedicated to playing games and having other people watch him play games. And he only recently overcame Smosh, who was also a channel that put out game-related content. PewDiePie's channel currently has almost 24 million subscribers, and I think that just speaks to the amount of people who want to actually watch people play games. That's only the people who are watching one person put out content. There are thousands of other channels on YouTube who put out gaming content, and that is their entire catch for their channel, is to just have people watch them play games. And this has only recently been realized because people have started to connect a lot better on the internet, and people have started to use the internet for entertainment. And I think a lot of it started with the pioneering of people putting up game content on YouTube. Okay, so I basically want to give a really quick rundown of in-game client viewing, moving away from recording your videos and posting them on YouTube to watching competitive gaming in client. And this game is Dota 2, and basically you can watch any live game going on in the game at this moment. So you can click watch and it'll load up the game for you. And literally any game that is public, viewable by the public, that is a match made game, you can go and you can watch and you can utilize every tool that Valve puts into this game. And so when it finishes loading up here, I'm just going to show some of the tools. But what's important about these tools is that they enhance the viewing experience for people just watching this game. So it immediately starts you off with following characters in directed cam, and you can change your camera angles to a bunch of different ways, like a free camera you can move it around, or a player perspective where you can see the movements of these individual players as they're playing the game. And that's one of the things that they do to help the players view the game. Another one is to give access to all this information in real time as it's happening, like kill, deaths, assists of players as they play it. Um, so many different so much information going on that people can watch and analyze the game from. And I think this contributes a lot to esports and the viewing of competitive gaming. And they create a very good model that many games should aspire to help promote this. And they even have an in-game chat system where you can go and chat to people, and you can type to other people who are viewing this game and enjoying this experience like you. And it basically just reinforces this interconnectivity of game viewing and how much it's important to appeal to the person who is viewing it. All these things that Valve puts into this viewing system appeals to the viewer. And Valve, the creators of Dota 2, do an excellent job of promoting this amazing viewing system in game. Just last year in 2013, they hosted their international tournament that they host every year, and the prize pool for this was $1.6 million. However, they sold an item on the market for people where $2.50 of that item would go towards the prize pool, and they ultimately ended up with $2.8 million of a prize pool. So that is a total of $1.2 million donated basically to them from people purchasing this item. And this item was the interactive compendium, and it basically enhanced the experience of players who were viewing the game for it. You got items for it, you got to create a fantasy league about your favorite players, and things like this is what enhances esports experiences and contributes greatly to the progression of this field. I want to finish up with talking about what I think is going to be the future of people spectating games. And I think it's going to all stem from Twitch TV and this concept of people playing games live and people being able to give the viewers feedback when they're playing. And I think Twitch TV does this very well, and their popularity has skyrocketed in the past few years. Twitch boasted 25 million unique viewers in December of 2012, and they were getting more than 300,000 unique broadcasters per month. And of those broadcasters, 3,000 of them are partners with the Twitch Partner Program. And that basically means that they get a certain percentage of the ads that they play on their channel when they're streaming the games. And according to the VP of marketing for Twitch TV, each individual viewer watches more than 1.5 hours per day on average every day. That is, every one of those 25 million unique viewers in December at least watched 1.5 hours per day on average. When their marketing VP was asked if online streaming will someday eclipse traditional TV viewing, he responded with saying that, yeah, it will happen, and they're already well on their way. And as the distribution of internet connected video devices continues to rise, broadcast and cable television will become less and less relevant. And I think this is what makes Twitch TV one of the most important founders in this if it were to go to this next level, which I think it will. And I think the evidence of it skyrocketing and people interacting with players in the streams and the streams themselves and just interacting with each other as they view it, it's going to definitely lead to a more entertaining way of watching something. Further evidence of this recent boom in people watching live streams or being able to stream themselves playing games comes from the next gen consoles that recently came out with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Both of them have access to Twitch and enable you to stream your games live from your system to that site where people can watch you. This idea of interconnectivity and our devices doing many different things is so prevalent in stream viewing and just watching people play games. It really brings the technology to the forefront, and it requires the best in order to make it proceed. Now, when people watch Twitch, they tune into a certain URL that is connected to the person who's streaming it, and they can watch that person play the game. And usually it's of the game screen that they're playing. Sometimes they'll have a camera that shows their face on it, and you can see their reactions as they're playing. And another interesting part about it is the fact that they have a chat attached to this. It's not just like a YouTube video where you just watch the video and then you comment on it and you talk with people after the fact that the video has been recorded. You talk with people while the person is doing it, and it is very similar to kind of like the Dota TV standpoint where people can comment on it, except the Dota TV chat system was incorporated after the whole Twitch chat and people being able to talk during the stream. And through this, you can communicate with other viewers and sometimes even the streamer themselves if they don't have thousands of viewers to interact with. They'll actually talk to each individual person and ask them how their day is or just get different information about them. They'll take their suggestions for what games they can play. And you, as a viewer, can influence the content that you're watching. And that is very prevalent in my next topic that I'm going to talk about. So I want to conclude this whole topic of viewing other people playing games with a recent development that came out of Twitch TV within the past 2 weeks, where the people viewing the game in the stream can comment in the stream, and that will actually play the game for them. The channel and the whole basis that it is based off of is Twitch Plays Pokemon. Like Twitch chat will actively enter in commands and play this Pokemon game, Pokemon Red, the original game for the Game Boy. People are playing it together and they're all devising strategies. There's whole external sites that have come from this and people talking about how they will interact in this game and how this game will go. There are just so many different communities that have sprung up. Fan art has come up, people creating stories around the game has popped up. And what's amazing is that there was a point where they've reached over 100,000 people watching this and doing this at once. In only 2 weeks, 100,000 people have interacted with this stream. From this very short time of becoming popular, there have been so many other streams that have been trying to mimic this, where the chat actually plays the game that's being viewed. They're watching what they're doing as they do it together over the internet. And I think that is amazing when you're talking about the connectivity of people and people interacting as a community together to do something over the internet. People from around the world are all coming together to just play a game and watch themselves play a game. Hundreds of people, like thousands of people, are doing it. And I tend to agree with the VP of marketing for Twitch when he says that it's going to become bigger than television. I think it's going to take a lot of time, but I think a lot of the things that television has been trying to do is more successful in this scenario. Like when people on television can vote on American Idol live when it's there. I mean, that's the closest they try to get to it, but it's just not the same level of interaction as people have with online viewing and viewing people playing games specifically. I'm excited to see where the future of this topic goes and the popularity that it'll gain in the coming years, especially with the advent of new technology and new download speeds, new internet speeds that are going to be coming out. I think that this whole process of people watching games is going to flourish into something that I personally believe is more entertaining than television. I don't even watch TV anymore. I spend my times on these sites and getting so enthralled in these games and watching people play them that it's just a ton more interactive, and I think more people are going to realize this in the future. So thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something you didn't know before about people watching video games.